This is what to do when your kids express the fact that they feel like they're burned out. Give them a break. Just 10 days is perfect. They don't need 3 to 6 months off, okay? You don't. You guys go on a vacation, you adults, probably by, day 3 or 4 or 5, you're itching to get back to work, right? I know. I've been on more than one fight with my wife, sort of a fight, like annoyed. Man, day 3, I'm like, I'm by the coffee pot. I don't drink alcohol on vacation. On occasion, but I drink a lot of coffee. So I'll sit down there, in the pavilion with my laptop or, doing voicemail while she's getting ready, and you lose track of time. I'm just itching to get back, 2 days is plenty. Think about 10 days. If you had to take 10 days off of work, you might say you would like it, but you probably would be itching to get back to work, at least do something, right? So if your kids say they're burned out, say, okay, that's fine. We're to take 7 days off, right? Maybe you practice on Wednesday. You're not going to practice again until next Wednesday. But a day off is this. Don't talk about wrestling. No watching wrestling. No looking at your matches. Don't even lift weights. Unless they're just adamant, Like some of us love lifting weights, it's your buddies are there or whatever. But for the most part, if you're going to take a little break, take a break. So, learn to rest, not quit. Secondly, you're going to fall out of love with wrestling sometimes. You're going to fall out of love with your goals. I know some college guys right now, one specifically, not really into wrestling. You entertain those thoughts of quitting. It's like someone pokes a hole in a balloon and then the air just starts to let out. You cannot allow yourself to go down those pathways. It's no different than, I always use this as an example to my athletes. If you have ever had an asthma issue, a lot of us have as kids, and then we outgrow it. You learn to nip it in the bud. As soon as you have an issue, you nip it in the bud. Otherwise, it can be too late, and then you're on the inhaler. It can even get worse than that, obviously. If you're entertaining thoughts of not making weight, and maybe your parents say, well, if you don't make weight, that's fine. You're cutting a lot anyway. The coach shouldn't have you going down. Kids get homesick at camp. You should say, no, you're not coming home, right? I'm going to be there day after tomorrow. You got a day and a half without seeing me. You're allowed to call me 3 times. I even do this. I'm like, this is how you call home. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. I'm doing fantastic. Camp is awesome. I'm killing it. I'm working hard. I will not waste your time. I will not waste your money. I will not waste my time. I'm crushing it. I love you. I can't wait to see you. You are going to be impressed when you come and watch me. Because we have a final drill session where we allow the parents to come watch the final practice, and we put the kids through the camp. It blows your mind when you see that your kids mastered the camp. That way the camp never ends when you go home. You can do the camp every day until you're 90 years old. But that's why we rehearse that, the kids who get homesick. And I tell the parents that we just rehearsed this phrase, and I want you to back me up. If you say, well, let's try for 10 more minutes and maybe Mommy will come get you. No, you're just basically destroying them, right? Well, we do that to ourselves too when we entertain thoughts of taking 4 months off. You can't take 4 months off. Sure, you can be a 3-sport athlete if you're a freak athlete and a raw sport. A raw sport like sprinting. If you're born a freak athlete, good. There's professional football players, they would go 8 months at a time without even a fingertip touching a football. They're playing on TV now for millions of dollars. Try doing that in gymnastics. Try doing that in bodybuilding. Try doing that in jiu-jitsu, MMA, boxing, Olympic diving, bodybuilding. You can't do it. Wrestling, you can't do it. Impossible. Now, if you want to, that's okay if your kids are younger. Yeah. But once they get to be, middle school, high school, if and only if they really are entertaining thoughts of wrestling in college, or they really, really, really want to be big time. They want to be a college All-American national champ. They want to wrestle on ESPN one day. Those guys, done. Quit other sports, wrestle. Otherwise, you won't make it. You will not make it. But what happens is sometimes we get tired, which is normal. You fall out of love with wrestling a little bit, which is normal. Take a little break, right? So as far as burnout, I think it's an overused concept. I think the remedy for a burnout, for burning out and getting tired, is 10 days off, maybe less. And the remedy for burnout of taking 3 to 6 months off is just nothing for your kids except for put them that much further behind their competition. And then you really want to see burnout? Wait till they've wrestled 9 years, not year round, but they wrestle 9 seasons, and they go to high school and they're on the JV team as a sophomore and they're getting pinned in front of the cute cheerleaders, and they're like, dude, I quit. I don't like wrestling anymore. Because they have fallen so far behind that they can't compete on a high level. So one reason we lose our dreams is because the dream has drifted away. Just like a boat, it drifts away, we ignore it, and pretty soon it's out of reach. Sure, you could swim and catch it, but you might not catch it until you're 20 years old. Well, guess what? You're 17 years old. You have a year and a half left of high school wrestling. The dream is gone. It's over. So don't let your kids cry burnout, and don't give them the excuse or give in and let them skip wrestling for 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 months, because all they're going to do is you're basically driving a nail in the wrestling coffin, because they're going to quit because they're just going to fall so far behind. They will not be able to compete. Wrestling is a skill sport, not a raw sport. Raw athleticism, who cares? There's freak athletes all the time on the college wrestling mats who are getting their head beat in, because I can steal your athleticism, right? Especially if you're a leg rider, which is why we're so big on leg riding. But there's my thoughts on burnout. Good luck.